Hello, thank you for your interest in my compact all-in-one fly box. Got a lot of names for it. Haven't really figured out exactly what to call it, but it's pretty sweet. And I wanted to show you all the features because it may not be obvious when you pick this up in the store what all the bits and pieces are for and how I designed it to function. So a couple years back, I got into Tenkara fishing, about 12 years ago now probably, pretty early on in the Tenkara phase, and I wanted something that was kind of a complement to this, simple and lightweight, and kind of had everything I needed for Tenkara. And then it also has translated really well to small scale backcountry fly fishing and lightweight fly fishing. So what you get is a fly box. It's got three main pockets. I'll put, you know, stimulators or big streamers, something like that, and then like nymphs and dry flies in the pocket. It's got a polycarbonate lid, which is super tough. It's the stuff they make bulletproof glass out of, so it should last forever. And the lid has a hole drilled in, three holes drilled in over each pocket to allow some airflow if you have to put wet flies in there. Of course, I recommend drying your flies out when you get home so you don't end up with rusty flies, but at least you'll get some airflow and decrease the odds of your flies rusting inside the box. The box is made out of compressed bamboo plywood, which is extremely durable and renewable, which is pretty sweet. And then I coat it, I soak it in polycarbonate, polyurethane, in order to make it even more durable and waterproof, and it floats nicely, which is sweet. And it's got, of course, a magnetic closure. Around the outside, it's got two slots that are 1/4 inch wide to put your tippet on, and you can spool your tippet on here, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. And then each slot has a line minder in it, which is made out of a pair of small hair bands, and if you lose one, you can just go to the store and replace them and tie a new string on, which is nice. I don't want you to have to call me to find specific parts to make this box work. You can just run down to the store and pick up new ones for 10 cents. You know, it's simple. And then on the back, there's a threaded hole with a stainless steel metal thread inside the hole, and I'll show you how that works when we get to putting line onto this spool. So when you get to your box, it'll come in like this. Inside there, you've got it's wrapped in a plastic bag just to keep it safe, and inside the box you'll get this screw. It's a stainless steel 1032 screw with an Allen head on it, and then it's got a 00 rubber seal washer on it. In order to put line on this spool, I tend to use line like this. I don't buy the high grade lines like this much anymore, unless I'm desperate, I'm out fishing somewhere where I don't have the line, because it's just, I can't stand to pay that much money for it. So I usually will run 8-pound and 4-pound standard fluorocarbon line on here, and maybe the other stuff's better, probably is, but I haven't really noticed a huge difference in the quality of my fishing since I switched to this. So that's just kind of my plug for the way I do it. But in order to put line onto this box, you're going to pull your line minders off, and in the bottom of each of these slots right here, there's a small hole. You may not be able to see it in the video, but there's a hole that goes through the bottom of the slot and into the big pocket inside here. And I'll take this screw, move the washer down towards the bottom, and thread it on into the hole of the box. Then I'll take my drill gun. You can, of course, add line by hand as well. Put that on there and kind of get it tightened on so that it will spin on the thing. And then I'll take the tip of my tippet material, whatever I'm using, this happens to be 8-pound, and I'll put it through the hole in the slot that I want to have that tippet on, and I'll pull out a good amount of it. I'll wrap it around the hinge of the box and then close the lid of the box, and so that it kind of just, it holds it in there. You can see it's kind of pinched in there now. And then you just, to add tippet, you just spin the box around like that, which is really simple. And then when you get to where you get the amounts you want on there, I usually go about 1/8 of an inch deep worth of line material, about half the depth of the pocket, maybe a little less. Then I'll just take the line minder and then put it back on, and I'm good to go. And I didn't bring my nippers, but you get the idea. So then I can just kind of tie the rest of it down there. And now I've got all my line on there. You can also, of course, wrap your furled leaders, your Tenkara line. That's one of the major reasons for this, is I put my Tenkara line on there when it's off my rod. And you could put your tapered leaders and things like that on here. And then when you're done adding your line, you just go in here and you clip off this excess line. The other function of this the screw on the back here is you take this screw and you push the rubber washer all the way to the top of the screw. And if you want a 1/3 size of line, you could take that, and it fits nicely. It definitely fits these Rio ones, and it seems to fit most of the other ones that I've tried it on. And then you could take that, put it on the back of the box over the screw, and just hand tighten that down, and it stays on there fairly nicely. And you have 3 different diameters of tippet on the box if you happen to want that. If you want to keep it thinner, I basically never do this myself, but I wanted to have that as an extra feature, and I realized that it kind of could serve both purposes. And then the last function of this box, which is nice, is these line minders are being what they are, they're stiff enough, you know, and you can use these ones if you want off your old boxes, but these ones are stiff enough that if you want to carry this on a lanyard around your neck, you just get yourself your lanyard and you can clip it into the loop of that string and it hangs in your neck nicely. You can clip your nippers or your forceps on there, and you could have it hanging on your neck and make a nice simple carry way. I don't normally use mine that way because I don't really like things hanging around my neck, but it is a way to use that on there. Originally I had a tab coming off this that you could clip it on, but I found that this is nicer, especially since you don't always want to do that. Sometimes you just want to throw it in your pocket. The whole box weighs about 3.5 ounces, floats, and is a pretty nice setup. The only thing you need to watch out for when you're using it is that this is a magnet in here and your flies are magnetic, so occasionally the fly will stick to that and make it difficult to close that. And if you're not paying attention, it may not get closed, and then you may end up dumping your flies out because you didn't get the box closed all the way. So just watch out for that possibility, but otherwise it seems to be pretty trouble-free and functional as a fly box. Thanks for watching. Hope you purchase one of my fly boxes, but if you don't, thanks for your interest. See you next time.